played for you, and we've had so many people play for you. So congratulations, Coach Ford. Congratulations to everyone else who's been inducted tonight. I'd like to thank the university. It's pretty impressive when you come back here right now and see everything that's gone on here. When we were here, I can remember sitting with Coach and watching Allen Beach draw our numbers on our shirts with markers. These kids get 3 different Nike uniforms and helmets and cleats and everything imaginable.
Still got that shirt.
We do still have those shirts. Really, this award for me is about the people in my life that have really guided me and pushed me to be what I've been able to be in lacrosse and as a person. For me, I grew up with a lot of coaches in my family and really teachers and coaches that have really pushed me to be what I can be in this. So really, I try to take a piece from every person that has influenced my life. So I'd like to start off just with a few people who have been in my life. I start with my wife, Katie. She's a Stony Brook grad, so we, at this point now, she's been around enough Albany alumni and she's been involved in enough Albany lacrosse conversations to be kind of an honorary Dane now. So we don't bust the chops too much for that. My brother Mike, my older brother, I kind of followed in his footsteps. When you go to Sachem, which is a big school back in Long Island, it makes life a lot easier when you have somebody kind of pave the way for you and kind of get your name out there before you get there. So I appreciate that, Mike. My sister, I have a younger sister who, poor girl, had to come to every single weekend lacrosse game, probably for my brother and I, even when she was a senior in high school, had to drive up to Albany to come watch us. I'm sure it's the last thing she ever wanted to do. But she was at every single game, so I appreciated her always coming up. For my mom, my mother Donna, she raised the 3 of us through some tough times. So for me, really, my goal when playing lacrosse and playing sports was always just trying to make her proud. I appreciated how much she worked, how difficult it was for her, and everything. For us, we really had everything we wanted in life. She gave us everything we needed through tough times. So really, when we were here, you're playing lacrosse and you see things and things get tough, I would always kind of look at that and say, if she can get through those with the 3 animals at home running around, I should be able to do this, play lacrosse, which is a very, very easy thing to do. My Uncle Mick, actually my grandmother and grandfather here. My grandfather passed away, my grandmother's here. I want to thank them because when things happened for us, they were always there. They were kind of the rock that we held on to and really kept our family going. My Uncle Mick, he's here right here, Mickey Mena. He was a 3-time All-American at UMass, played lacrosse his whole life. He dropped everything in his life. He was living the phys ed dream, and on Long Island, single dream of phys ed, and when things kind of happened in our family, he dropped everything and kind of came over to help us out. I've seen him get into 3 different Hall of Fames now, watched 3 different speeches, and I don't know how he had to do it, because it's awful having to go up here and speak, but he's done it 3 times, so I gotta kind of have to do it. Pretty much my childhood was going everywhere. He was a phys ed teacher at Sachem where I went, coach at Sachem, and I followed him on every field, went everywhere we can go. The thing to me that was most impressive and kind of led me to becoming a phys ed teacher and coaching was everywhere we went, any person that's path he crossed, it was always end up, we'd go for it, try to follow him on a jog or go to a game, watch him play, still playing, and somebody would always stop us and kind of say, hey, you got the greatest uncle ever, or, he helped me out. When things were real tough in my life, he always helped me out. So those are the kind of people that I think I kind of always was surrounded by, and you kind of recognize that as you're growing up. And I think that's really what led me to Albany. When I think about Coach Marr, before I even mention Coach Marr, Tracy, who if you ever call her Mrs. Marr, you'll learn really quick that you should never do that. All right, Tracy had Jordan and Kyle and Keely running around when we were here. Getting here, they were just kids. So it was, Coach's parents were everywhere, which reminded me of exactly how my family was. So really for me, coming here, it felt like I went from one family and jumped right into another, and that's kind of how Coach ran, and he still runs this program. He'll laugh when we talk about it when we got here. When I first met Coach, he was watching me play at Sachem against Ward Melville in the county semis that we actually wanted, and then I went and watched them play at Nassau Community College against Hofstra, and I was getting recruited by Hofstra also. They showed up in 2 white vans that would beat white vans, and I'm thinking to myself, I was just high school American, I'm going somewhere, and I'm saying, what am I doing right now? Being with my mom, Coach walked out, the look on his face, I will never forget it, like, oh God, why did I tell him to come to this game? And so I got in the car with my mom, and she was like, Mom, am I making the right decision here? And because Coach Speckman at Nassau Community College, my brother played there, my uncle played there. So he was trying to get me to come there and go someplace else. And I just heard so many things about Coach that were just great things, and people that I really respected would tell me, he's starting up this program, you really want to get to be a part of it in the beginning. And I talked to him on the phone a bunch, and I said this, this is where I want to go, this is the guy I want to be with. So as far as the season, it really ended up being the best decision I think I've ever made. And people ask me all the time, would you have gone anywhere else? And I say absolutely not. Coaching staff when I was here was John Schweck, who's actually the coach down at Siena College right now, and Coach Vando's over there right now. I wasn't sure if we were going to see you, but you made the appearance. I'm pretty proud. He's a Ward Melville guy, so it was tough for me to get along as a Sachem guy to get along with a Ward Melville guy. It was tough, but Vando's a great guy. So like I said, when we came in, Coach was his second year as a D1, but we were his first recruiting class. So it was a great experience because I was able to really kind of be with him, and all of us really were able to be with him for the beginning. I think we discussed pregame stuff, practice stuff, anything you could talk about. I think we really talked about before games, and you really felt like you were part of something great. He would tell you that there was a confidence that he kind of had in you. You just knew he was the kind you wanted to play for him, and you didn't want to mess up. You wanted to do everything you could, and he had this confidence in you that made you a great player. Being a part of that class, though, I'm sure he learned a lot of lessons. Not the hard way. I don't want to say that because I know you got a lot of bosses here, but there was a lot of give and take going on. I have some in here that I crossed out that I'm not going to say, but things like. I still don't get it. I don't know if you still do it to this day. He outlawed bacon for us. There was no bacon pregame because it made us slow. We weren't allowed in hot tubs pregame in any hotels, so it made us slow. And I think back at it now, and I think maybe we were just slow. I think we were just slow. That's what it was. We weren't quite what they are right now. He always had one instance where he wanted to know. I said, I can never forget this one. Where I was looking in the huddle and said, why do all my goalies have black eyes right now? I don't know if anyone ever gave you that answer, but Chris got punched in the face, Bobby got punched in the face, and Kevin was making fun of Bobby, so Bobby punched Kevin in the face. That's why they all have black eyes. And then there's also the millions and billions of kids in China who would do anything to be in our position. And to this day, I don't even understand what blows my mind. I'm going to throw it out there, I know he'll be happy, but generally anything that Mike Salazar said, you just learn to say no to. That was probably your best advice you can get. But even though we had a lot of fun and we kind of learned as we went, there was a complete respect between the coaches and the players. There was complete respect, and everyone knew that. Coach, he treated us great, and we got it. There was probably only, I think in my 4 years, there was probably only a few times that line was crossed, and like I said, one was, Coach took us out to that track, and there was some running involved, and I think Luke Smith ended up just being dismissed from the team, and a couple guys got very sick, but luckily we brought Luke back, because he ended up being probably our best defenseman, definitely our best defenseman that year. The next was Pete Giattino, who loves to talk, and Coach was running us pretty hard. Pete screamed out, "He'll never break us, boys," and every one of us in our heads said, "Yes, he will." And he did. So, there's another one that I'm not going to, that's another one I'm going to leave out. As far as my teammates, I think the way it goes at this point, and I think every one of them agree, the longer we've been out, the better we were. It's getting crazy, but said by the time we all play in Lake Placid and over 30, said by the time we play in that over 40, the majority of them will be telling people that they all won Torton trophies, all Americans. My attackmen, I want to throw them out there. Merrick's paying me to say this, so I'm going to put it out there. Mike Salazzo, Sean Donnell, and Chris Montosha, and the Drip Cat, and Merrick, who we're luckily to have coaching here right now. Merrick actually broke my record after I left. Thought it would last a little bit longer, but it didn't. Merrick broke it right away. I still think if I would have had him for a little longer, it would have been different. Our team was, we weren't the most talented, and we weren't. We just weren't the most talented kids out there, but we were a lot of scrappy kids that had chips on their shoulder that just had a lot to prove when they were recruited out of high school, had a lot to prove. And we accepted our roles on the field. Everyone knew their roles, and we had the kind of guys, we had guys that were team middies that if you tried to beat them, they would tackle you before you would get by them. That was kind of the heart that the guys that we played with had. I think our success, for me, when I think about it, our success, Coach treated every one of us like we were his sons. You felt like you were his son, you were with his family, and I think that made us all feel like we were brothers, and you acted like you were brothers. everywhere we went, if you were out on campus, we were probably 30, 40 people going anywhere. If we were going to a bar, if we were going to a house, if we were going to watch the girls play volleyball at Yale, we were, there was 30 of us there. All right, there was a lot of us there. Which made, that's I really think what made us successful on the lacrosse field. I know with these guys I can call any of them at any time and they'll drop anything to help out, and I feel the same way for all of them. And I really think that brotherhood and the success we had, the respect we had for each other, it led us to, we won 3 straight America East Championships. We were ranked in the top 20 for I think, since coaches, it's much more impressive now. They're in like the top 5 now, but I think we got ourselves to the top 20. It was impressive. As a high school coach right now on Long Island, Suffolk County, and I'm involved in a lot of club lacrosse programs, which is kind of getting crazy the way recruiting is going and everything. But when I first got out and you talked to people about Albany, it was I was pulling teeth trying to say, hey, don't go to Syracuse, don't go to Hopkins, go to Albany. Now kids, as the year has gone, and you see how the program's gone, kids beg me to call up and call coach and go to Albany. So it's like the change is amazing, and then the program has changed, but the coach has not. It's stayed the same, and it's been, the family atmosphere, the way everything is, and I really think that's what's made this program what it is. And as a coach and person, in the community now, it's impressive to see that kids are dying to go, really want to come here. So really, we've enjoyed watching the program. I know we've got big fans, a lot of alumni, and watched it grow to an elite program. It's become it's a top 10 program every year, and the best kids are coming here. And we're really excited to see where it's gonna go in the future. Hopefully to a national championship at some point soon. All right, so thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.